In life, we encounter people every day, all of whom have stories to share. We rarely take the time to ask people their personal stories, many of which will touch, move, and inspire us in some way. Matt has a passion for making authentic connections and learning about people from all walks of life. He has lived a life of giving back to the community and making a difference in people's lives. Are you ready to meet fascinating people and hear some inspiring stories? The Matt Hilton Show will introduce you to a world of possibilities you never knew existed. Sit back, be present, and enjoy. Here's your host, Matt Hilton.
Coming up on this episode is the second part of Kathie Truitt's story. You don't want to miss it. Also, stay tuned for a word from our sponsor.
With almost 20 years of real estate experience in the North Texas area, the professional realtors at Hilton Realty Advisors have helped over 500 clients with their housing needs. Hilton Realty Advisors covers all areas of real estate: buying, selling, building, investing, and renting. We deliver the keys to homeownership to all through integrity, love, and joy. Call us today for all of your real estate needs.
As we move on to you living in Puerto Rico, well, it took you to Puerto Rico. I mean,
Jay,
that must have been nice living on the beach.
I love my husband because I love Dallas. And he goes, I've been thinking, and I think I would live in Puerto Rico. So I did. We went. So everyone thinks that living on a beach is romantic and fun and all that. You can only walk up and down the beach so much, and it gets kind of boring. But after about 6 months, I missed my friends. I missed my social life, but after a while, I learned to love it. I really did. I learned to love it, and I wasn't ready to come back yet. But you do what you do for family, and but yeah, that was a pretty sweet deal. Yeah, 83 degrees every day.
Every day.
If it got to like 70 degrees, we complained that it's so cold out there. There's no heaters in this place. What are we going to do? But you get really spoiled. But
What do you love about yourself?
what I love about myself. Wow, that's not a lot right now. Not right now. Not a lot.
So tell me about that.
But I'll get back.
Because I'm sure, the reason I'm asking and digging is because I'm sure there are people who are watching or listening that may be going through a phase where they're just like, I don't know.
And he didn't ask me if he could ask this, folks, so we're being real here. I've always been a very confident person. I've always thought I could do anything I set my mind to. And so right now, I'm going through a terrible depression. It's circumstantial. And I feel really, really bad. I'm not doing well. But I do know that God will get me through it. And you just have to. So for 6 months, I felt like here's God and here's Satan and I'm right here. And that they are going at it and they're roaring. That's why my hair was going up. That's how bad. I mean, seriously, I just felt like they were roaring. And so I just turned my back and just looked at God. If you're in the middle, you look at God. You don't look straight ahead. You don't look behind. You don't even say to the bad one, I don't even like to speak his name. You don't even say to him, leave me alone. I don't acknowledge that one at all. I just look to God. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking to him and knowing through other circumstances in my life, I know he pulls you through. I just know he does. And once again, I have a wonderful husband that says, Kathie, we have to be here. Why don't you just travel? So that's what I'm doing. And just being here the past few days has really brought me back to myself and everything. But I'm all alone on a farm, just Jay and I, in the middle of nowhere, on a prairie. It is beautiful. But sometimes I miss the interaction and I miss the energy of a city. And so I do these conversations with Kathie, and a lot of that I do because I'm lonely. And that's my interaction, are my Facebook friends and followers. And so now they tell me what they want to talk about and things like that. But sometimes I'm just desperate to talk to somebody. And so that's what that is. And one night I remember being by myself while Jay was in Fort Worth and just feeling so low and just needing talk to someone and to shout and just to, and I remember saying something bad about how bad I felt. And I wanted to know how, I don't know how to turn my comments off on Facebook, or I would have just turned my comments off. I really just needed, I'm a writer. And so Facebook sometimes is my diary and my journal. I don't do it to get sympathy or whatever. It's my diary. And most people were really supportive. I'm still trying to figure out how to turn off my comments. And 2 people came behind the messenger and take that off. You're just crying for attention and you're just wanting people to tell you that they love you. And I'm like, no, I know I have a lot of people that love me, but I feel like crap and I need help right now. And so people coming back and saying that, I think of Ellen DeGeneres's DJ that killed himself. And I think, did he want to shout to someone? Did he want to say to someone, help me? And he didn't have anybody to say it to. And sometimes I don't. You guys are all I have right now. I live in a place where people hate my guts. I've had phone calls where people say, I hope you die. And you're all I have right now. And so I talk to you. And I wish that people would be more understanding of, instead of saying, oh, they're just wanting attention, to, okay, we need to do something to help this person. Another note on that, about 3 months ago, late at night, a local woman that I wasn't friends with, but acquaintances with, came on and said that she was going to harm herself. Most people were kind. Some people were saying she just wanted attention. Well, guess what? I woke up that morning and she had killed herself. So let's stop and take a deeper look at people. Let's take a deeper look at people. Now, I'm not going to tell you on Facebook if Jay and I had a real fight. I'm not going to tell you if things aren't well with my children. I'm not, if Kevin and I have a fight, I'm not going to come on and tell you that. I'm just not going to tell you really personal things. But if it's something that really, I think you know what I'm talking about. Y'all are smart. I don't need to tell you. But it has been really bad. And I just wish that people, I don't know what people do that aren't as strong as I am. And so I like to do positive. I like to do the outfit of the day. I like to do positive things and be inspiring. But right now I don't have a lot. And I never want people to think that my life is perfect. My life is good, but my life is not perfect, right? It's not good right now, but it will be again. And so I guess I just want people to know that it's okay to not be okay. I promise you it will get better. And I promise you that you may not feel God, but I promise you, that's the only thing in life I can promise you, is that He is there.
Yeah.
He's there.
And Kathie, I really thank you for asking or sharing that with us. And what I heard you say is sometimes you need people just to listen.
Yes.
Instead of commenting or giving their opinion or any, I believe that's one of my skills is being able to listen to people. That's one reason I love the show is because I ask questions and then let people talk. And because I feel like I can learn so much more from my guest than my guest can learn from me.
That's a gift to be able to listen. Yes.
So is that, am I on the right track with what you were saying?
You are on the right track. Absolutely, you're on the right track. And then, but on the other hand, so that's one of the things that Kevin told me. You know, he said, "Why haven't you called me? Why didn't you tell me this? Because you don't. So you don't want to bother people. You know, Jan is also good. Who's in the audience today? She's also good to. Actually, I got to tell you, everybody in the audience has been good to reach every single person here has reached out to me and said, I'm worried about you. Are you okay? I guess I just single Kevin and Jan out because we've been friends for so long. But every single person in this audience has reached out to me and just cared. But on the other hand, when you're feeling like that, you have to put in the work to get through it. You can't just sit there and not do anything. You have to put the work in yourself, And sometimes you have to say, look, I'm sorry. I know I'm Debbie Downer, but I really need to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you have to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. And be open to people to
Yes.
give you help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You do have to be willing to do therapy, be willing to talk to your minister, or, be ready to seek professional help. You have to be ready and open for that.
Do you think one of the reasons why people may not be that ready and open is for fear of judgment? And how people may see them, they're not the perfect put together person, and they're struggling?
So I can't answer to that because I don't need anybody to think I'm perfect and well put together. I just don't. So the fashion, the makeup, the jewelry, things like that are fun. That's a hobby for me. That's my art. But you're just as likely to see me at the post office with no makeup on and, wearing my, feeding cow clothes. So I don't know about that. I think that some younger women especially do feel that way. I think my fear is I don't want to bother anyone. Usually I'm too proud. And I'll show you, I'll rise above this and I will rise above this and I'll be just fine. I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. And this has been different. This has been about, I am so depressed that I don't care what my enemies, and that's another thing people do. Don't let them know how you feel because they're just reveling in that. I don't care. I feel bad enough. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for them because I'm going to get better. And I'm going to move on, and they're still going to be ugly. And they've already moved on to other people at this point in town. They have. And I feel sorry for them. So I think, I don't know. So I guess that's a long way of saying I don't know. I'm sorry. That's a long way of saying I just don't know. I don't know. I think different people have different things. I think I do see a lot of people. And I hear this a lot. She just posted that because she wanted you to know she got a new BMW. Well, yay for her. She got a BMW. I'm happy if that's what she wants. But as far as me, I don't need, I literally right now live on Green Acres. Remember the show Green Acres? I'm Lisa on Green Acres. I wear fur around the house or I have to feed cows, whatever. I really do. But that's because I didn't have winter clothes when I moved back to from Puerto Rico. So anyway.
Wouldn't you like to be a little bird on her shoulder as she's piddling around the farm? And
I know. I talk to myself. Yeah. I'm great company.
Yeah.
I'm good company. So.
All right. So we do have some audience members, and I would like to open it up at this time for anybody to ask. Is that okay?
Yeah.
For them to ask a question. So this mic here is ready for you to go. So
I do have a question about, I do know that you wrote Hillbilly Debutante Cafe about your early childhood and the place where you grew up. And then False Victim was about Washington. I have a question. I know you stated that you might be toying with a part 2 to Hillbilly Debutante Cafe. Not sure if you're going to finish it or not. Would you ever consider writing a novel, a book about what you're going through right now? You're coming out of things that happened in your past, and you're still dealing with some things that have happened to you. And you're such an inspiration to a lot of women out there. Would you consider writing about that? Because I know that writing sometimes helps get things off your head and your heart. And it could also be the lifeline that someone else is out there searching for. Would you be willing to write about how women and men should not worry about so much about the little things, the pink park benches, and they should worry about how you get through those things.
Or more about the homeless people
Exactly.
who have no place to sleep, and the hungry people, and the meth problem. Oh, man, that is a good question, and that is a hard question. So here's what's funny. I was instructed by my attorney to not talk about that. Well, now it's over. And now that I want to talk about it, people get mad at me for talking about it. Just let it go. That's when they say, oh, you're just wanting attention. You're just wanting to dredge this up and all that. But I feel like there are questions that you don't have answers to, and you followed me on this journey. And I just feel like there are things that I know people want to know that I should answer. I don't know that I would write a novel. So here's what I can't get over. I'm very proud of the business. In 6.5 months, we profited $52,000, almost $53,000, okay, for a little pie shop and a few clothes and things like that. So I'm very proud of that. What I'm not proud of, and I can't get past what I feel like a failure as, is why couldn't I deal with the bullies? Why couldn't I deal with that? Why couldn't I? Okay, so I have to get through that. I have to get through what that means. And I would like to do something humorous with the Pink Bench. So years ago, when I had speaking engagements around, we called it the Pink Tutu Tour. So now I'd like to do the Pink Bench Tour, but I don't know what to do with it. I would like to do something fun with the Pink Bench. And I will talk about the Pink Bench, but I will never, like I said, I'll never mention that town. I'll never mention where it is, or the people, or anything like that. I just won't give them the attention. But I would like to still make that Pink Bench a celebrity. And I'd still like to rebrand and do a kickoff to my next career with the Pink Bench, because I think that Pink Bench is supposed to mean something. Because for 7 months I thought about it. It spoke to me. Jay's like, I don't think that was a pink bench speaking to you, Kathie. I think that was the devil. paint that bench. Paint that bench. So, anyway, but
I'm visualizing like a cover to another book with the Pink Bench on it, right? And you talking about overcoming like obstacles and life events and things that have happened. And you could do it through fictional characters or whatever, but it could be something within your life that. But
I feel like I have to get through it first. Yeah. And I don't know how I do that. I don't know what my next step is right now. And that bothers me because I don't know what is going to happen for me. I feel like I was forced into retirement, and I'm not ready for that yet. As a matter of fact, so I got hate T-shirts in the mail.
Hate T-shirts?
Oh, yeah, hate T-shirts. The last one was, and I can't say it, but it said, "Ding dong, the blankety blank witch is dead." And then they sent me a congratulations on my retirement. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to do something again, but I don't know what. Yeah. But I try not to give my enemies a lot of thought. So you hear and you see this a lot. Dress as if you're going to meet your enemy on the street, or work like you prove your enemies wrong. And I think you should just forget your enemies. I wish mine would leave me alone so I could forget them. But I think you should just forget your enemies. They're your enemies. They don't like you. Do things. Concentrate on the people that love you. And that would be easy to do. Speaking of not being left alone, I'm not understanding this new culture. So what do you do if you don't like somebody? What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah. If you don't like somebody, what do you do? Notice how I turned it around. I'm interviewing
Yeah, you did.
the Kathie Truitt show. What do you do? What do you do?
Maybe that's what you should do.
Rebecca,
No.
can we change that? But what do you do when you don't like somebody?
Well, there aren't very many people I don't like.
Okay,
But if I don't like them, I usually just don't have them in my life anymore.
You stay away from them. Okay. What happened to that? Why do we have to, not we, I'm talking society, why do we have to not like people and then we're going to destroy them? We're going to call their, so I'm going to tell you, I think Kevin and I are the only friendship in the world where he's a Republican and I'm a Democrat, and we don't care. We don't argue. We find that we agree on some things, we disagree on most, but we don't care. We don't care. Whatever happened to that? Yeah. What happened to that? Actually, we don't even talk about politics, but
my last guest, that was what she talked about was...
I remember that. Yep. She and her opponent...
disagree agreeably.
And they rode... So she and her opponent... I loved his last guest. If you have not seen that show, Kathie
Ward.
If you have not seen that, you need to go back and watch that. But she's a Republican. Her opponent was a Democrat. They rode to their events together. I love that. Can you imagine President Trump and President Biden going to No. And I loved that. There's lessons to be learned from that.
Yeah.
Why don't we, I just don't understand how we can get back to that. But so that's what I don't understand, this keep going. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And
I have a thought on that, but I'm going to get to another question real quick. So we have another question from the audience. Come on up.
Kathie, building off of what you've been kind of talking about, been around for a long time, been in lots of big cities, small cities, and you have very strong online social media presence. So how do you think social media impacts the way that we treat each other?
Ooh, that is a really good question.
That's where I was going to go.
That's where you're going to go. She needs her own show.
She does.
So that is Brittany, that's such a great question. Because I think, I don't think there's any middle ground for social media. I think it is absolutely wonderfully fantastic, or it is completely evil. There is no middle ground. And it's great because you connect. I have connected with people that I consider dear friends that I have never met. And then you have people that are pure evil, and they make up fake profiles, or they're just themselves and say mean things because they think that they can. And I think social media. So I will tell you, in my town, I'm not the first person, okay? But I'm the worst that it's happened to because I'm the first since social media, okay? I'm the first since social media. And so from here on out,
people can hide behind their keyboards.
They can hide behind the keyboard and say things to people that they would never. I'm going to tell you a novel concept. I'm going to tell you a novel concept is I love Instagram because there's pretty pictures and things like that. This is really weird. There are some women on there that say things that I think they shouldn't say and do things I think they shouldn't do. But what's really weird about that? You can just scroll by. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to say anything. And I do that all the time. I can't imagine saying, "Oh my goodness, you look so fat in that," or whatever. But people don't do that because, I'll never meet this person. And I'll tell you another secret is people think they can say what they want about celebrities, people who are in the movies and people, because they think those are people that are never going to see it. Those people see that. They do. They see it. And it's hurtful. It's hurtful. But when you put yourself out there that that's going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. And I'm okay with that. But the meanness that is over the top is incredible. And I don't know how to change that.
Yeah.
And we have young people. oh my goodness, young people who are going through the social media backlash and
bullying and all sorts of stuff.
I don't think you should be able to have social media until you're 18. Honestly, that's just me. And yes, my grandchildren have my teenage granddaughter has social media. I'm sorry, Sophia.
Right,
but I just don't think they should have it until they're 18. But here's where my daughter is wonderful. She goes through everything every night. She has control over her phone and over what she sees and what she posts and what, but I wonder how many parents do that.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Hello.
Hey, there he
First
is.
thing, I'm Kevin, and
That's
I do
Kevin.
not identify with a political party. So. Don't call me any of those names.
You know what? Actually, that's true.
I do. But no, what I was going to say is Hillbilly Debutante is a funny name. And I know some people know the story, but can you tell the story where that came from?
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a fun story. My first White House Christmas party, and I get there and I'm just so in awe of, oh my gosh, how did I get here? And like I said, the people you see, there's movie stars and the outfits are incredible that the women are wearing. I'm just in awe and just watching. And I think Jay's off somewhere else, schmoozing. And I was perfectly happy to just stand in a corner and just watch. And this young man, and this was many years ago, and this young man comes over to me and he starts talking. And he goes, I love that dress. It was a pink gown and kind of chiffon. And he goes, I love that dress. He goes, I bet you were a debutante, because DC is the land of the debutantes. He goes, I bet you were a debutante, weren't you? And I kind of go, honey, there is no debutante ball where I come from. And he goes, and I said, I'm from the Ozarks. And he goes, you're a hillbilly debutante. I mean, he just did it like that. And so that name kind of stuck, and I opened a blog, and that just kind of became me, And,
Did you ever find out who that young man was?
No, I wish I knew who he was. I can still see him. Honey, if you ever see me, and you, please reach out to me, because you've made me a lot of money through the years. So thank you.
Great question. Any others?
Kevin just stole my question, so I had to think of another one. I know you used to blog a lot, and I know you haven't done that lately. So I think that it might be helpful for you and for the people that follow you, for maybe you to start that again and just do a consistent blog, and then who knows, that might become a book or whatever.
So I love that idea. Here's my problem. I have, my blog is kind of having a glitch right now, and I don't know anybody that can help me. There's a weird wonky picture on it, which is not a bad picture. It's a picture of a kitchen, a modern kitchen, and I don't know how to get it off so I can put my picture up and, but anyway. But I think it's a great idea. And if I can figure that out, if I can find somebody to help me
Somebody
figure
in
that
my
out.
audience, come on.
Yes,
Let's
please.
help. Yes, let's help Kathie get that done.
But yeah, I would absolutely do that. Again, it's very creative, and I enjoy it. So I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
So.
Any others? All right. Well, you know that I'm the Chief Happiness Officer of a nonprofit called Who Do You Know?
Yes.
Yeah. And we inspire imagination and dreaming again for anybody from any walk of life. And we focus on 3 pillars about making connections. And that is a person you want to meet, a place you want to go, and an experience you want to have. So I want to ask you those questions, because within those 3 pillars, there may be someone who is tuning in that could help make those come true for you. So let's start with the person you want to meet, and it needs to be someone alive. So,
Okay.
so
All right.
who is someone that's living that you would like to meet?
I want to meet Robin Brown with Magnolia Pearl. How many of y'all, do y'all know Magnolia Pearl in the audience?
Through you.
Oh, I love her. She's a Texas designer, and her clothing is just art. And I love her. I love the way she lives. I love everything about her. So I would love to meet her.
Okay. What about a place you want to go that you haven't been to yet?
A place I haven't been to yet. Okay, you're going to laugh. I have never been to Nebraska. I've been to, I know. I've been to almost every state. I've been overseas, and there's really not many places I really want to go right now. But I want to go to Nebraska. Nebraska is next on my list. And road trip.
There we go, road trip.
Next time you're back, let's go to Omaha or something like that. But I know that sounds so stupid, but Nebraska. And so I would also like to go to Magnolia Pearl flagship store in Fredericksburg. So
another road trip.
I would rather do that, I think, instead of Nebraska. So we can do that too. So I'd like to do that. And then what was the last question?
An experience you want to have, like a Cowboys football game on Thanksgiving Day, or jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, or just some experience that
I wanted to have. Oh well, and with the store, I wanted to have that. I wanted to have that. I wanted to. I wanted to bring that downtown back to life again. And so I need another dream. I need another experience. And so I don't know.
Okay.
I need another experience.
Think on that and let me know.
I'll think on that. Yeah. So
yep.
Right now I would like to figure out what my next, oh my goodness, I'm really putting myself out here. Do you know what Jay wants me to do?
What's that? Put it out there.
I'm putting it out here. Jay would like for me to go into acting again. I did bit parts. When I was young, I did TV commercials. I did theater. But he's like, Kathie, you need to take acting lessons and just go on auditions. But that's scary. That is really scary. And see, in the past, that wouldn't have fazed me. I said, let's do it.
What's scary about it?
I don't know how to do it anymore. I don't know how to go about it anymore. And it's putting yourself out there even more, So I have a friend in DC who is a producer, and he's had some big movies that I cannot think of right now. But I have told him I would love to play in, an old, I used to think it would be fun to be like on Days of Our Lives. You have a bit part where, you're the femme fatale that goes into town and you break up a marriage and, and all that. And then you're killed off. Wouldn't that be fun?
And then you come back to life.
And then you come back. No, I don't know. No, just a bit part. But so that would be fun. But I don't know how to go about that. And I just think that would be fun to just take on little parts that, be a tree or be a trailer park old lady that carries a gun and shoots people as they come on her property or something like that. I think that'd be fun.
What type of tree would you want to be, Kathie?
A live oak.
A live oak?
A live oak, and be all your, just be a live oak. Yes.
Well, I do appreciate you being here. Love you dearly.
Thank you.
Is there a question I should have asked that I didn't?
I think you touched on everything. I think everybody knows everything about me now. So not yet.
I didn't peel back the onion.
We have to escort Jan out of here, please. Right. But no. You didn't ask me about my baton twirling. Oh, I forgot. Yes.
There we go. See, there we go.
Yeah,
baton.
So I can't swim or play tennis anymore. So I thought I've got to do something for exercise. I love to walk, but out in the country, we do have a bear. We have a pack of coyotes that roam around. We have wild hogs, and we have mountain lions. And so I'm just kind of chicken to go out to go very far down the road. So I thought I will buy a baton and start baton twirling again. And it is so much fun. And I got that idea because I went to an event where I saw an 83-year-old woman twirling with 2 batons, and she was fabulous. I thought, I used to do that. I wonder if I could do that again. And it's kind of coming back, and it's good for your fingers when you have arthritis in your arms, and,
So did you order 1 or 2?
Well, just one.
Just one, okay.
My next one's a fire baton, though. I did a fire baton when I was young, too. So that's my next one.
That's your next one.
That's my next one.
All right.
Yep. All right.
Well, how can people follow you?
Kathie Truitt. It's Kathie Truitt on Facebook. Kathie Truitt on Instagram. I do not do TikTok. I've got enough going on, and I can't do. But Facebook is my favorite thing, and my favorite social media. So you can follow, and it's a public page, so you don't have to add friend. You can if you want, but you can follow. And you know, we used to have a lot of fun on there. We'll get back to that. We will. We'll get back to that.
I know you will.
So, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Safe journeys back to home.
Okay. I am home right now where I'm sitting.
There we go.
Okay.
I was hoping you would say that. That's right. Back
to where I'm living for now. Okay.
Fantastic.
Do not edit that out of this.
I'm not going to edit it out.
Okay. Do not edit that.
That's her mom coming out.
Okay.
Her. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. And make sure you tune in next week as we have another fascinating guest with an inspiring story. Take care.
If you'd like to contact Matt or know a fascinating person with an inspiring story that would make a great guest, reach out to the show at themattHiltonshow@gmail.com.